I'm just rambling away. So we'll start from the top. Good morning. My name is Jared. This is Justice's Waiting Room, a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. And I'm a socialist. And a lot of people have reached out, in the off hours, and they're like, hey, I'm with you. I just need help figuring out how to talk about socialism uh, to my friends and family. How do I say it? Cool. So at its core, socialism, you can break it down social, right? Social equality, right? So that's the foundation of socialism, which is awesome, right? And then of course, universal healthcare, education, income, and housing are the pillars that hold up the umbrella, that which, the roof, that which covers the pillars and the foundation of socialism, which is social ownership of business. And we can use modern terms to talk about the social ownership of business. This just means small business ownership. That's right. The government, yeah, I know, right? The government should use your tax money to help you become a more proficient laborer in the job of your choice, especially if it's a unionized job. And how? Well, first, we shouldn't be financially penalized for trying to get a higher education. I think everyone can, over the age of 18, knows what I'm talking about when I say the cost of a college education's daunting to the point where many people just say, I'll never get a college degree, I can't afford it, and just write off getting an education. What if student loans didn't exist? What if you just didn't have to worry about paying for college? You just decided what you wanted to study and where you wanted to study it, and you applied. And as long as you did all the other things that are required to go there, the only thing that you should ever have to pay for are your utilities, your books, because the classic economic principle of socialism calls for the elimination of interest, egregious taxes, and rent. So understand that I'm still a believer that the taxes you pay matter, right? And that the government's job is to use your tax money wisely, right? So, one of the next questions, so people say, what is socialism? I think I did a good job of explaining that socialism is any egalitarian, which is social equality, any equality based political or economic movement based on social ownership of business. And again, the core the core pieces of socialism are egalitarian and social ownership of business. Egalitarian, equality. Social ownership of business is like, I want you to own your own business. I want you to be so good at whatever job that you have that you could strike out on your own. What? 1% versus the working class. Yeah. Yeah. And keep in mind, like your whole life, you're told like socialism doesn't work. I've done a lot of research on this subject. And what I find over and over and over again is when socialist movements grow violent, they fail. And so, one of the things that I've sort of learned is that, and you learn over your life, is that it's the fascist, communist, far right that they're violent. Everything they do is violence. And then socialists and like the far left, are pacifists. So understand, if you have a political movement and violence is the base, it's not a leftist movement. Democratic socialism works very well. Well, it has to work, right? Because you have to have a democracy, right? Which is that's a political theory, right? You have to have democracy so that you could have rule of law, right? Democracy sets the laws, right? And then as far as your economic and social theory, it is socialist. It's just we don't get all the other benefits because here's the thing. Here's the thing. All of the things that you don't like are collapsing. The Republican Party, the healthcare system in the United States, um, this administration, uh, like all the things that you don't like are losing. They might be in power right now, but the hard reality, yeah, constitutional republic works. Yeah, as long as everyone's willing to uphold the Constitution and obey it. What can you do right now? There's a nationwide protest on Monday, February 17th, and all 50 states are invited. All 50 state capitals. It is organized by the same group of people it was before. Okay. On Reddit, R50501. Sorry, we just got right into it today. No music. Don't worry, we'll circle back around. What's the likelihood of impeaching a federal judge? 0. It's a lifetime appointment. They have their own code of ethics. But what you can do right now is you can understand that on Monday. Okay. There's even an Indiana state rep posting in the subreddit for R50501. So everybody wants to talk to an elected official. There's an Indiana state rep that organized the Indiana protests on February 5th, 10 hours ago, posted in that 50501 subreddit. And then I would also tell you, um, there's also another subreddit, Protest Finder USA. Okay. And one of the things that I would try to convince anyone to do is create positive content, non-violent content. What you want to make sure that you're doing is that peace is a priority and that you're pushing that. So like if you're making content, I don't want to be your mutual if you're calling for violence right now. Oh, there's 7 of them, there's 330 million of us, down with the oligarch class. Like you're just gonna go to prison? Like, hey, research Slobodan Milosevic. Okay? I'll just tell you, this Serbian guy runs for president, loses, declares victory anyway. Okay? Takes office. He's a fucking turd, just like Donny Boy. Okay? But what happened? The Serbs protested and he fucking resigned. And I just want to point out that history fucking repeats itself and that Donald Trump feels inferior to Elon Musk. And you can see this evidenced yesterday in the Oval Office when uh, Donald Trump is sitting down, really bad body language, while Elon Musk stands up over his shoulder and like is talking. Hey, he is really feeling feeble in front of Elon Musk. He's really feeling weak and powerless in front of Elon Musk. It's not it's not it's not yeah. So it's not worried for me truly. What are you worried for? No, don't block them. I want to know. I want to know what else spills out of their gullet. So, oh, it says hush your mouth to Trump too. Oh my God, that's the worst. Yeah. Hey, if I've ever heard of like some toxic people, Slobodan Milosevic died in The Hague. He was there for war crimes. Yeah, he also resigned. So what I said is still true, right? And why did you type in all caps? I don't know that was like worth all caps. It just seems like antagonistic to do that. I stated facts, correct? He ran for public office. He technically lost. He declared victory anyway. He oh I don't so what did I say? That was incorrect. He lost an election. He declared victory anyway. He resigned from office after protest. Okay, okay, okay. So again, here, let's just do this. Okay, cool. Not even for 5 seconds. Do you understand? I read books and did reports, and I don't give a shit if you're from there. Like, you don't get to decide what the truth is. One person doesn't get to decide. All the books I read and reports I read and news articles I read contradict what your argument. So here, you can go sit by yourself. Jesus. Were you alive and protesting in 1980? No? Oh no, because you got banned. People will be like, I'm from there, and they've never stepped foot on soil there. So this happened last night while we were asleep. The Russians violated NATO airspace. Okay. Mm-hmm. Pope came out against Trump. That's what we need right there. But this is some of my favorite news headlines this morning. Uh, Elon Musk is a terrible president, but Tesla is going to crash. Tesla's going to crash. The Republican Party is collapsing. Yeah, what the fuck was that? And yes, I saw that officially on Google Maps it's Gulf of America. Yeah, hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's a big reason why I'm trying to tell people, but violence isn't the answer. Because he's going to come after your Social Security, your Medicare, your Medicaid, your SNAP benefits. I'm telling you. Yeah, with your 300 followers, like you've ever told the truth in your life. Okay. Yeah, my furnace is fixed. That's why I'm like not wearing a hat because I'm hot finally. I run anytime I'm right, like correct, I run hot. Like when I'm wrong, I'm cold, right? But when I know I'm right. Somebody, one of my followers sent me a link. So thanks, uh, Jay comes in here all the time. And I'm sorry that this is in pink, ladies. We'll appreciate a woman named Rebecca Solnit uh, wrote this article, and she is a political scientist. So it's about a 9-minute read. But she talks about the history of protest and how protest has been effective. and it is the most effective check against power. A show of numbers, not of force, right? A show of force is when Donald Trump decides every event he attends deserves a flyover. Okay. So I posted an article. It's from a female political scientist who's literally saying the same things I am, but from a more educated perspective, where she can tell you over the course of history that it is nonviolent protests, civil rights movements that have actually been a force of great change in the United States. So I again am just encouraging you to not think about, if you're going out to these protests, that you're not anticipating violence and you're not curating violence. Okay. But yeah, Dina said women should all be out protesting HR 22. Okay. So there's a bill passed, okay, that clearly has Dina upset enough to talk about. So we'll post that in the chat. HR 22, I'm pretty sure, January 3rd, 2025. National Voter Registration Act of 90 to amend it. They want to amend the Voter Registration Act. So female political scientist. Yes, I think it's. Am I protesting unemployment? That's just an interesting question. I don't. I don't know. I don't know where you got that. It's like you made it up. If your name doesn't match your birth certificate, you can't vote. Um. How often do you have to register to vote? So here's the thing. There's a document. This is how often you have to register to vote. Okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay. It's not a law. It's not a law. It's not a law. Okay. What's the bill called? HR 22 to amend the National Voter Registration Act of 1993 to require proof of United States citizenship to register an individual to vote in elections for federal office and for other purposes. And what it says is that the name on your birth certificate is different from your name, you can't register. So hopefully, I also posted a link from CBS News where it talks about how often you're actually required to update your registration. So understand, at its core, I'm not a big fan of fear mongering. Okay. So when a bill passes the lowest form of our political system, it's not a cause for alarm because bills pass the lower form of our government all the time. But what it is worth pointing out is this is a violation and it won't pass. Look at the 14th Amendment. Why is Donald Trump attacking the 14th Amendment? Because he doesn't want equality. So this this is illegal. So Donald Trump signs it, gets sued, this gets, yeah. Yeah, proof of United States citizenship to register. hmm it just passed the lower form of government. Okay. Were you this concerned 9 years ago? I'm just asking. Because like this passed one of three levels of government, and a federal judge is going to strike it down. So I'm just asking. Like you seem to. This is the most I've ever seen you type in my chat, and it makes me wonder. Like I'm equally concerned about all bills. You know, ones that like completely subvert democracy. This is just straight up illegal. I I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, and I understand the notion where you're like, this bill is concerning. Every fucking thing that man's done for the last fucking decade is concerning. And also, I'm just telling you, I'm emoting passionately about what you brought to me and saying this is fucking illegal. Like, this is not gonna HR 22. It could pass. He could sign it. He gets sued. It gets struck down. This is the whole of here. Here, we're just gonna let you go think about that by yourself. Okay? Yeah, 100%. People are like it's voter suppression, and I'm like it's illegal. It will get struck down. This is what happens when you decide to be friends with people despite knowing they were going to vote for Donald Trump anyway, and you maintained a relationship with them. You made it feel like it was okay for the last decade. You've allowed people in your circles that would turn you into ice. And you are coming to me now. Yeah. Yeah, Kate. You know it's never a pretty one. That's all I'll say about women that are Trumpers. There's not a single pretty one. It's like they attract ugly like moths to a flame. Have you ever noticed when a woman becomes a Republican, she gets fucking ugly? Like Guilfoyle. Look at Kimberly Guilfoyle. There was a time in her life where she was fuckable. And now, oh my God, Laura Loomer. Look at Laura Loomer. Have you seen her face expand? I didn't even know that was a thing. Now I'm concerned she has elephantitis of the head. I could keep going. Nancy Mace? You want to talk about Nancy Mace? Nancy Mace straight up won an election because of a doctored photo. Straight up. Hate makes you ugly. I'm dead ass. One thing I've realized in my life, I'm not a good looking man, but in the face of oppression, in the face of fascist authoritarian dictator, I'm better looking than all of them fucking billionaires. Like straight up and straight down, like I'm better looking than all of them. They are the most unfuckable people on the planet. Like all these people that like appear to be completely in control of your lives. Aw, what are we talking about? For what? Aw, no, 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 no. Sexual exploitation? Say word? Nah, nah, nah. I said when people become Republicans, they become ugly. Yo, it's funny. I got banned on fucking TikTok for saying when people become Republican, they get ugly. Oh, Jesus. Kill me. Oh my God. Hey, you know what? I don't, uh, I don't ever. Morning, everybody. Hooey. You know, I guess you can't tell the truth. You can't tell the truth. Hey, you know what? I think it's funny. Listen, I'm at my core, you have to understand, I am a narcissistic, anti-authority, straight up fucking anarchist. You have to understand that at my core, chaos. That that doesn't work either. So understand when shit pops off, like people get upset with me. Hey, you know what? You gotta take it. You gotta every now and then, okay? Every now and then you gotta take some lumps, okay? Yeah. I'm never Appeal approved. Okay. They restore my life. Yeah, right, bitches. That means when a human being reviewed what they were like, nah, he's right, actually. The CCP was like, nah, man, he's right. Ah, that's funny. Come on, man. We don't get many pure moments of just joy, but that's gonna sustain me for a while. Mm-mm. Because you understand the way it works. One person can't get you banned from TikTok, but like several people brigade reporting you, they can get an AI to snap ban you if they are all in concert. So I probably did piss off 5 people, and they all were like, "Fucking sexist." Um, And again, I just want to say how you vote determines your level of sexiness. Um, and I just want to dance on the ashes of the Kansas City Chiefs and all their fans who were still fans of the Kansas City Chiefs after Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes came out and said, "Oh, it'll be an honor that Donald Trump will be there at the Super Bowl." I just want to point out how dangerous and stupid a sitting president attending the largest sporting event in the world, how bad that is, how bad of a look that is. Understand that I'm a massive football fan. Like, football is my longest relationship. If you ever decide that I'm going to be your president, guess who's not going to the fucking Super Bowl while he's in office? Guess who's not attending the World Series or the NHL Finals? Or you know what I mean? I'm not going to the fucking Grey Cup in Canada. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to the I might attend the Olympics. I might attend the Olympics. Tennis, like a very small closed environment. I might go to a tennis match. Okay? Why? You got to think about security. Okay? Going to a football game, that's the most watched football game in the world, and there's a whole bunch of people in one place. Not a great idea, security wise. Heard he pooped himself, and that's why he left early. I don't even think I need to fact check that. BB, I'm with you. 100%. Diaper Don. Yeah, your president wears a diaper. I've also suggested that he sits in the middle of his bed in an adult baby diaper and pretends he's a baby. And he has oral fixation. He's mostly sucks on a pacifier. And Elon Musk is tripping balls off ketamine in a maid outfit, trying to be sexy, just feather dusting around Donald Trump sitting there on the bed in an adult diaper. In case you wondered what the mental image, yeah, Elon gives him his bottle of milk. Yeah, he does the whole thing where I don't have children, so you're gonna have to forgive me. Where they warm the bottle in the pan. He's got a little hot plate right next to the bed, and he's got bottles just in the pockets of his maid outfit. And Elon like takes a bottle out, shakes it up, heats up a pan of water, drops the bottle in there, checks the temperature. Gets a little on. Oh, it's perfect, and then hands him the. Yeah. But I also want to point out, um, I had friends that were at the game, and I wanted to talk about this. Okay. First of all, Kansas City got fucking booed the shit out of. That fucking team got booed the shit out of. I didn't see that. I didn't watch the game. So, okay. Yeah, Elon's son's creepy. Um, okay. So I didn't watch the game. These are not my thoughts. This was a conversation I had with people that attended the game. When Kansas City came onto the field, they got booed the fuck out of, as they should. Okay. When trying to make sure I tell my story right. At the halftime show, it was dead fucking silent. The people that attend the Super Bowl didn't know who Kendrick Lamar is. And they said the loudest the halftime show got was when Serena Williams was crip walking and they had the spotlight on her and everyone realized who it was and they're like, "Oh my God, it's Serena Williams." Um, so I want to point that out. When Kansas City came onto the field, got booed the shit out of. Um, Obviously, when Philly came on the field, nothing but love. If there are two cities that are like spiritually connected. I feel as an American, Philadelphia and New Orleans are like two of those cities on the east side of the country that are like I want to say like New Orleans, Atlanta, Philly are like connected, right? And I know that those are Jared, those are heavy black cities with a heavy cultural influence. And what I mean by that is if you go to New Orleans, there's a heavy Cajun influence, right? But yeah, those are I think those are like wasting taxpayer money. Let's see what else people said. Apparently, triple up for him. Yeah, somebody said he had to go change a diaper. Yeah. So yeah, for the record, I thought the halftime show was amazing, but that's because I'm a rap fan and it was Kendrick Lamar and it wasn't like all new music, but it was like a pretty modern set. And for someone that like loves live music, has literally worked, I literally stood closer to the band than you did at most of the shows I worked. Um, I really thought like he did really good. It was a really good show. Had a lot of messaging in it. And ultimately, yeah, Giannis. Ultimately, what happened is what I begged to happen. Um, See, I have never met a person of color that's a MAGA supporter. Never met a person of color that's a MAGA supporter. I can imagine at the NFL level in those locker rooms, there are very few people that are MAGA. But in Kansas City, the Mahomes are. Travis Kelsey is, and I can see Travis and uh, I don't want to say it out loud now. I could see Travis and Taylor breaking up, because he played like shit in the Super Bowl. He looked flat, and he had no gas, and rumors are swirling that he's gonna retire. And if there's one way to destroy your legacy, it's to support, say it's an honor for the president to attend a sporting event you're playing in instead of doing what Philly did, what Jalen Hurts did when he was asked, how do you feel about Donald Trump attending the Super Bowl? And he said he can do whatever he wants, right? First of all, um, not being political in a non-political situation is good business. And when you're told by a reporter as an athlete, this person's attending your football game, okay, and I loved what he said. You can do whatever he wants. Like, okay, he didn't, that was good or bad. but it didn't sound like he was going to be warm and accepting of him. And I just want to point out that before the Super Bowl, there's clear video of Donald Trump shaking the hands of the Kansas City Chiefs on the sideline. And they got their ass beat 40-22. I just want to point out, I didn't watch the game, but I love that the entire group of dancers people of color in a halftime show. Yeah, for sure. I loved that I did see people were like upset that there weren't more white dancers. And I thought, as a white person that can't dance, I thought that was hilarious. When people are like, how, there for a minute, I'm wondering if they scored. Yeah, it was like 24-0. I was like, ugh, who wants to watch that? Like one-sided shit. Karma is 100% real. I've long since told people I have no money. I don't count on luck, but my karma in this life, I have max karma. So horrible shit's happened to me. Horrible shit's happened to me. And I'm still sitting here smiling. Chiefs owner donated to Trump. Philly owners did not. Yeah. Sucks. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, Robert Reich, calling for protest. I've been saying it. Okay. And listen, there's plenty of people out there that can't go to protests for whatever reason. It's in the middle of the workday. I don't have the time off. All of it. I believe you. Okay. I have your story behind the Eagles. I'm all for them. Yeah. They could be my NFC team. It's all good. Yeah, they made asses of themselves for sure. But yeah, Robert Wright calling for protests. Can my sons go, you think, at 9 and 11? Yeah. So until you hear, this is the way I would do it. I'm not a parent. Get there and get the fuck out. Right? Get there, do your protest, wave your flag, get in your car and go home. Right? That said though, in the event of like a event, the kids are more likely to survive. They're smaller. So keep them close, right? That would be what I'd be worried about with having kids at a protest, is just losing sight of them. And I'm quick to panic, and you know what I mean, like blame myself. Oh no, right? We decided to go do this, and what did it cost you? Like everything. But I would not go to a protest if I knew ahead of time there was going to be violent anti-protest. And one of the things, right? Did you hear what I said? I'm gonna say it again. If I knew ahead of time there's violent counter protest here, I'm not going. Okay? But if the protests are set up in advance, they're meant to be nonviolent, they're getting permits, everyone's on your side, right? Like there are very few people, I think, in this country that should be, or should be, is not even correct, are anti-protest. Okay? And those are people that you'll never see. Fortunately, they're never going to show their face. So you'll never see Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, David Sachs. It seems like your question's too stupid of a question. Do you understand? I've been posting links in the chat to nationwide protest. Protest what? Like, what do you think we're protesting? No, not you, Jen. Demorats. Okay, Brian. Well, that's enough of that. You're with your 33 followers. Cool story, bro. I was like, what are we protesting? The fuck? Well, he can go be isolated. Remember, when you smell, when you smell that somebody is brainwashed, you should isolate them. meaning you should block them. Hmm. No quarter. Speaking of which, there's a song you should listen to. Anybody like Led Zeppelin? It's an incredible song from a music standpoint. My dad. Hey now. I don't like all of it, just like the good songs. Social Security check direct deposited today? Isn't today like the 12th? I thought people got paid on the 3rd. Yeah, but they're coming after it though. So I want to make sure people don't. I want to make sure people don't miss the memo. Like Elon Musk said in the last 48 hours, he's coming after Social Security. Understand that we were a federal judge away from SNAP benefits getting adjusted. So I know like a lot of people, we're scraping by because Joe Biden appointed 235 federal judges to lifetime appointments. A lot of people, yeah, yeah, it's second Wednesday or something. I could be wrong. I don't know enough. I'm not retired. But yeah. He said didn't understand the big deal on appointing judges, but now I do. Yeah, it's a big deal. The listener said Led Zeppelin's your favorite band. Right on. Right on. Mine's Tool. Tool, Perfect Circle, Pucifer. I'm a big Maynard James Keenan fan. Sick of seeing him. This kid is a shield. I mean, hey, Tool is very unique though. Here's an article from Politico talking about how Russia. That'd be cool. Be if Lane Staley sang with Tool. Oh, baby, this is what we need right here. Okay? Taunting. You understand? I know that they have poo-pooed this our whole lives in entertainment, and art. Um, Elon Musk is a terrible president. Do you understand? Vice President Donald Trump. This is what will defeat Donald Trump. He can't stand this. Okay? Okay? I'm telling you, he's weak and powerless. Elon Musk is telling him what he's going to do and telling him what to do. Yeah, they're following Project 2025. Why do you think Elon's in the Oval Office? He's the handler. He can handle Donald Trump. Money. Donald Trump was fucking broke. He's not the president though. But anyway, the whole point is that over the course of history, people ask how has great change happened? And just so you know, I'm going to keep saying it, if your movement is violent, it fails. If your movement is violent, it fails. The powers that be have more money, more power, and more access to more firepower than you do. So if you're outgunned, outmanned, outmoneyed, how do you beat them? Peaceful protest, mass protest, boycotts, strikes, sit-ins, art. You plaster the picture everywhere of him sitting in his chair. Yeah. You don't beat him, you join him. Duh. Not at all. In a million fucking years. Yeah. So, military and vets stepping up. Hey, I'm all for veterans stepping up as they should. I'm part of Vets Against Tyranny. Okay. Yeah, one of the things I noticed is that they're starting to write articles about all the phone calls that representatives are getting. So that's a great one. Okay. Is absolutely call your state representatives. You can download an app called 5 Stars. It will call your state reps. Keep doing it. Okay. You can also get rid of these things, all Meta tools. No Facebook, no Threads, no IG. The most invasive application on your device is Facebook Messenger. You also need to get rid of WhatsApp, Twitter, and stop using Amazon. Okay? Start shopping locally. Do this now. It has an impact now. Don't wait until it's too late. Stop scrolling and interacting and liking and sharing shit on Facebook. Stop scrolling and liking and sharing and commenting on Threads and on IG. Stop it. Stop posting original content. I don't post original content on TikTok. Okay? I don't post original content on TikTok because TikTok is a meta tool now. What up, JoJo? Okay? So make sure, and for the record, you being aware, awake, and alive enough to say, I can get rid of Facebook Threads, IG, Messenger, WhatsApp, Twitter off of my device. Hey, I did it too. You and I are in this shit together. Okay? I'm Actually, it's not, K White. So, as someone that's actually got a degree in social media, what's actually more important is inactive users. See, they're going to grow regardless. There's nothing you can do to stop a social media site from growing. They're just going to gain more than they lose every day. But what you can do is stop using them. Just delete them from your phone. You could still have an account there. Maybe one day they'll get purchased. Okay? And I've said for a long time. I've said for a long time. I think things like Twitter and Facebook should be public utility. I think TikTok should be a public utility. I think freedom of speech is paramount. That's why it's the First Amendment, right? Literally the first one we wrote. Freedom of speech, freedom to assemble. Good to go. But one of the main things that you get rid of by getting rid of meta tools is the ability for an application on your phone to track your location despite you having location off and also turning you over to the fucking police. So, again, you want to make sure that if Facebook Messenger is listening to your conversations and using the conversations you have to influence the algorithm on all the other meta tools, that seems really invasive. They also have access to your microphone and your camera without you firing up the app. And also, they share your location. So if you're going to get rid of anything, it's Facebook Messenger. Okay. And then if you're going to these protests, you want to make sure that you wear a mask because COVID and the flu are real. And then you want to make sure you wear comfortable clothing. No, you don't want to wear stuff that's too big. That's stupid. I'm seeing wear shoes that are too big. That's stupid. Okay. Wear shit you can move around in. Okay. The biggest thing you need are signs. You need signs. Elon Musk is a terrible president. That's a fantastic sign. Diaper Donnie and Felonia, right? Like sitting in a tree. You know what I mean? Like, we need trolling. Like, I get it. Most IT guys hate Messenger, yeah. We need trolling at a high level. And I get it. The left is not great at this. But now's your fucking time. Impeach President Musk is fucking hilarious. Okay? But you gotta wear a mask. You gotta wear comfortable clothing. Signs are fucking great. And get in and get out, man. Don't dilly dally. One of the problems that I can foresee with the police is that the police will determine when stuff becomes public safety issue, not you. So do you understand what I mean when I say get in and get out, right? Don't get caught up in this. Parking is important, okay? Don't expect businesses to help you. Hey, I fucking hope so. I fucking hope so. I think we're living in the rise of Americans. Liberals love Musk till he woke up and changed sides. That's crazy. I can't think of a single leftist that is a big Elon Musk fan. If concealed carry is legal, but again, I wouldn't do that at a protest. At a peaceful protest, I think it's inappropriate to conceal carry. I can't keep you from doing it if it's legal in your state, though. And you've got to do what you got to do to. Yeah, it's like, fuck are we talking about? No, you cannot carry a concealed weapon at a political protest in Kentucky. Kentucky law prohibits the public carrying of guns at state capitals and political protests. So here's Everytown research. No guns at state capitals or demonstrations. Somebody asked, why did you block me on Grinder? I don't even know what that is. So I purchased them. Yeah, for a long time, Elon was kind of the only one doing it. Yeah. And you have kids. It's got to be incredibly stressful, Jen. I can only hope to empathize. But yeah, I want you all to know, like, um, I'll get a different schedule eventually and be able to actually attend. I think what I'm going to try to do for Monday is get down there and host my show. So, hey, what we're looking for today, if y'all are dilly dallying around, I'm looking for a business on the circle that would love to host me. Okay. That I can get in the morning, get my podcast done, get some video shot of the state capitol where this shit's going to go down. Okay. And that will be my contribution. I have to work. It's a new job. I'm still in training. It'd be fucking crazy to just like dip out on that. Indiana. So yeah, yeah. Tear them down from the id. Do you understand? See, again, that feels like a loaded question. You know what, Brad? Not even worth it, brother. You're not even worth it, my man. If you can't figure that out by now, I'm not here for that. Sorry, buddy. People are hungry, starving, look out. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, like, nonviolent protests, peaceful protests, mass protests now, boycott these brands, right? Like I'm trying to do all the peaceful I can do. Because again, your movement fails when it turns violent. And you look over the course of history, and people have had some great political ideologies and they tried to ram it home. And the reality is, the people have to want it en masse. People just have to decide that I'm correct. Socialism is what you want. You want universal health care, education, income, and housing. What do you mean? Whatever do you mean? I guess you have to blame somebody. Right? It can't be the Republicans. You can't blame the Republicans. It's not the Republicans' fault that they propped up someone that was ultimately ineligible for office and a fucking insurrectionist and a traitor. Yep, it's the Democrats' fault that they put him up for re-election. Yep, it's the Democrats' fault for not being threaded into the um, law enforcement in this country, who actually are the people that punish people. Dems stayed home for the election too. That's debatable. If that means that you're taking election results at face value, which is incorrect. So that's not actually correct. That's taking the election results at face value, and you know that this was not a legitimate election. Violence worked for the GOP. Really, can you show me how violence has worked out for the GOP? It seems like it hasn't. He said, I think when it all falls apart, Jared's a real option. So the tone changes when you know for weeks ahead of time that Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP benefits are going to be disrupted. We are past the point of no return when that happens, because as I have said, what I have said, they didn't win though. They cheated. And it's going to come out. All these people that Donald Trump's like with the FBI and CIA that he's like illegally trying to fire, He's trying to fire them and get them out of the way because a report is about to come out and charges are about to be get dropped from the Department of Justice. And again, like you try to put people in the way, like Pete Hegseth, right? SecDef? In charge of what though? Like my entire family is law enforcement, and I'm not talking about small time cops. I'm talking about DEA, FBI, and I just want to ask someone who clearly has no fucking clue what they're talking about. The GOP is in charge of what? What are they in charge of? Can the president of the United States fire FBI and CIA agents? Can he do it? Because you know what a fucking federal judge said? No. Republicans are in hiding right now. The Republican Party's cratering and collapsing. So again, leave the world behind. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the problems I have is there's all these people out here calling for violence that don't intend to be violent themselves. And that's a special sort of weakness and hubris that only an American could have. Only an American would sit around and incite violence when they don't intend to do it themselves. Coward. I've tried to tell you. I tried to tell you. Any movement can be successful as long as it's not violent. How about Musk? Is he a politician? No. Again, what are these questions you're asking? I feel like I'm being interrogated. Thank you. What the fuck is that? Lisa? I should tag your employer in that comment and wonder how that'd work out for you, dear. What does this say? Damn, I want to believe you, but I just don't see it. What do you mean you don't see it? Look at every political movement. Dems are the sissies. Oh, and Republicans are hard asses? Like Republicans are hard asses? They're cowards. The entire Republican Party cowered to Donald Trump. I don't want to ever hear the left and Democrats are weak. Republicans have a king, and then you're coward to him. All of you are coward. They have guns. The majority of gun owners in the United States are Democrats. You're an idiot. It's like talking to my father. Here, let me do what we should have done with each other a long time ago. True, but the Romans cowered to Caesar. Exactly. So what I'm saying, there have been tens to twenties of socialist movements over the course of history, and they all failed because they got violent. Every single one of them became a violent regime. Yeah, follow the Constitution. There's a whole reason. Do you gotta understand? Donald Trump has not won a single lawsuit, so that a single one of the things he's done has passed since he's been in office. He got to do a whole lot of more winning for me to be frazzled, right? And that's the kind of way you got to feel, because otherwise you're just allowing bluster to have like a deep impact on you personally. When I'm telling you, he's mostly full of shit. Okay, so and I get it. There's a lot of people that are like scared, and their reaction to this is to be violent. And I can promise you that violence is not the play. I'll be your barometer. I'll tell you when we're past the point of no return. And again, that you will know. You will know. You will know. And it'll be because social safety nets are going to be disrupted. There was a moment where he was coming for veterans benefits, right? And I think we all know why veterans benefits didn't get touched. Okay. Yeah. The Republicans are, yeah, swore the oath 5 times. I was in a Marine Corps infantry. Good to go. I joined the military during a time of war and said, "Send my big ass to the front lines. Let me mule some shit." Good to go. So I went in fully expecting it not to make it home. Okay, 20 fucking years ago, because what had happened is Republicans crashed the fucking economy. The FAA went on a hiring freeze, so I couldn't. I went to school to be a pilot and an air traffic controller, and the FAA goes on a hiring freeze, and the airlines stop fucking hiring. What do you want me to do? You know, my big ass to be a fucking steward somewhere? Gonna go. So, moved back to Indy, got a job at a small airport as an air traffic controller, and it was just super dangerous, actually. Um, there were 37 aircraft checked into the facility, and they got inspected, and one aircraft passed an inspection. And they had been flying in and out of this small airport for a decade or more. You think he's going to take Gaza? No, no. So understand that the president of the United States does not control the purse strings. Anything involving money, not his fucking job. As far as the military goes, lawful and unlawful orders. So remember that when you're in the US military, your oath is to the Constitution, not to whatever version Donald Trump, Elon Musk think is the right one. Okay. So I don't think if Donald Trump decides we're going to go take Gaza, I don't think Trump is the executive branch. He has no business in office. Exactly. And Elon Musk is not a forensic accountant either. And neither of any of the Doge are not forensic accountants. And I want to make sure everybody files a FERPA complaint over Elon Musk's access to all of your interests. We are in the middle of a coup. Right. And the best way to fight that is boycott, strike, and protest. Okay. So Elon thinks he pulls his purse strings. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Make sure you file a FERPA complaint. Talks to judges started. Yeah. Yeah. The thing about that, Mike, that always bothered me is Donald Trump's mentioned 210 times in Project 2025. It was literally written for him. Make sure that you get 8 hours of sleep at night, that you take a nap, you drink water, hydrate, right? And eat right. And if you're going to exercise, split your movement and your lift. You'll get better results. Want to become stronger and faster? Lift in the morning, move in the evening. Good to go? It's best for you. Okay. FERPA, FERPA. So Google file a FERPA complaint. Okay. Family Education Rights Privacy Act complaint form. Here's the literal link to the form. Good to go. Yeah, I just read the Project 2025. So yeah, there's a video where you explainer of Project 2025. You need that explained to you. I don't know that people need that. They're living through it, right? Hey, but so many people were like, I believe someone who's literally lies every other time he opens his mouth when he says he's going to lower the price of groceries and gas. So we live in a country where people believe that with their whole heart. Donald Trump is a man of the people, right? People believe that shit. So yeah, a lot of people have asked because a lot of people are inclined to violence. It's just the nature of the world we grow up in, and I'm just gonna keep saying it, like nonviolent protest, strike, and boycott are the most effective tools we have, and that if you inject violence into any of them, your entire movement loses its veritability. Um, and I know that's like a big fucking word you don't even give a shit about, but it's the whole kit and caboodle. Like it's e- yeah, Janice. So I don't know how long you've been here telling me what to do, but we regularly talk about GUU. Yes. See again, resist. I don't know how long you've been here, but I regularly talk about R5051, right? Okay. If that's the way you take someone being like, I wouldn't come into your life and do that. You know what I mean? Like, I always treat people how I want to be treated. That's what I do. What's the tax stuff he's supposed to pass? He didn't. All being challenged. I know it's fucking tough because it seems like everything that happens, like actually happens, but it doesn't. It goes to court. Handmaid's Tale at the yes, that's great. United we stand, divided we fall. Yeah. Some people cannot take any level of interaction. It's just you want to say whatever you want to say, and it doesn't matter what I say in return. Your feelings are going to be hurt, right? It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter. So I'm trying to keep my circle small. So if I smart off to you, take it as being dismissive to you, right? Like again, I wouldn't go on someone else's live and be like, "Why aren't you talking about this?" And I'm like, "I don't recognize you. We've never met. This is our first time that we're meeting, and that's the impression that I have of you." I don't treat other people like that, and I don't know where you got off treating people like that, but it ain't here. You may get to do that in your life, but not here. Good to go. I know it's hard to swallow. This one's a fighter. But yeah, understand no guns at protests. Mm-mm. Not yet. Not yet. That's not legal. Okay. And I know a lot of people are like, they're not following the law. And it's like, yeah, who's they? Because as far as I'm concerned, it feels an awful lot like Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and a bunch of rich kids versus us. And there's not that many of them. Trickle down's not real. Mm, 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 mm. So here's the thing. I'm going to give you some graphic design tips. Okay. If you're going to make a protest banner, okay, you're going to make a protest banner, okay, an announcement, okay. Yeah, I think you've got to have it in your purse. You know what I mean? Like, I can't sit here and say, yeah. bring your taser. But I think you're allowed to ultimately like protect yourself. I don't think it's legal to have guns at a state capitol, which is where most of these protests are. I'm sorry. Yeah, I try to be funny because I know like for a lot of people it's like a dark time. Um, there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, American democracy's falling apart," and it's like, is it though? Or is just like this old dude saying a lot of horse shit that ultimately does not come to fruition? He's losing like every day. Like a federal judge is like, "Nah, fam." In Tennessee, my neighbors call me snowflake, libtard, woke, or other. I'm glad to be honored. Hey, Mike, I just wanted you to know in Pennsylvania, right after the election, this dude took a rocket launcher and shot it into his neighbor's house because he painted or he had a Trump flag in his yard. So just, I'm just saying what actually happened. Even though little X is telling him who's boss. Semper Fi, brother. That's what's up. So yeah, I try to make sure I tell that. That story happened in 20, in the last like 3 months. And I'm not advocating for violence. I'm just saying like some people tolerate their neighbors name calling them. Not where I'm from. Not where I'm from. Not only would you get pay no minded, meaning like if you call me names, I'll just never fucking speak to you again. And then when you ultimately do confront me, because you know, people that are willing to name call you, oh, they're willing to be confrontational. We can be confrontational, but it'll be me reacting to your physical touch, not me lashing out at you because you called me a libtard. That's hilarious. I'm not a libtard, I'm a socialist. Okay, there are way more of us than there are of you the world over. Did you know most of the most successful countries in the world have a major socialist slash workers party, except for the United States? That's why I'm founding the American Socialist Party, whose foundation is equality for all. This includes the law applying equally to all, and then also the foundation supporting the pillars of socialism, which are universal healthcare, education, income, and housing. And then obviously the sort of umbrella over what we just built is small business ownership. Okay. The the realization that the government, like your taxes, should be used to make you a more proficient laborer in the job of your choice, as long as it's unionized, the government should pay for that. And I know there's a lot of people out there like, how do we afford that? And first of all, have you asked that question about everything good that happened to you in your entire life? Was the first question out of your mouth like, how might I have to pay for that? Is that what happened? Somebody bought you GI Joes or Barbies when you were a kid, and the first thing you said was, "How much was that Barbie doll?" Is that what it was? No, it wasn't. You don't normally ask what it costs when someone tells you, I don't want you to die broke, right? When someone tells you that the classic economic theory of socialism says that things like interest and rent are derivative of your labor, and that in order for society to move forward, we need to eliminate or completely get rid of rent and eliminate interest. And if you think about most of what actually ails you, or like what is actually bringing you down, interest, daily compounding interest, that's what's ruining your life. It's Citizens United. That's what's ruining your life, right? It's any anti-union, anti-peace, anything, right? And I just want to make sure I keep pointing this out. If you're an American not happy about this fascist authoritarian dictatorship currently in power, like you're not with that at all, you know what's even better than the people in the middle, the Democrats, that are like friends with these people and that stock trade and insider trade, and they're all basically friends, as far as I'm concerned, then you know that you can't be a part of either party. You and I are not meant for the Democrat Party. I don't have the money for that. I can't afford to be friends with a Republican. You understand? And Democrats can, because the Republicans don't have a platform. I mean, their platform is hate, but they don't have a platform. And the Democrats' platform is, at least we're not the Republicans. But if you actually ask a staunch Democrat, what is the Republican platform that's not hate? What is the Democratic platform that's not the entire Republican Party? Yes. Yes. Hate is the entire platform. And the Democrats' platform is, at least we're not Republicans. Democrats are the only ones spewing hate. You know, that level of delusion belongs in a goddamn museum. You need a special level of help. Most income was rent. Yeah. Rent is derivative of your labor. A lot of people are like, "Jared, what about homeowners?" And it's just like, the American dream came to fruition for you. Interest. Eliminating interest in your mortgage would save you a whole bunch of money on your mortgage. Yeah, it's like, what? Spewing hate? You want to talk about spewing hate? How about the new SecDef renamed Fort Bragg Fort Bragg? Fuck are we talking about spewing hate? You can't be serious, complete opposite. Yeah. The Republican Party, their entire platform is hate, and the Democrats are just not Republicans. That's their whole platform. Like, the Democrats admit this, that we need a revolution because they have no platform. Host is an NPC. Yesterday, back to brag. And so, first of all, your name's not even original. I love when people call you names. Host is an NPC. Renamed brag back to brag. That is hateful. This is a Confederate general. So again, that's called the embodiment of hate, right? One of the things that, if you ever need your brain just like combed through, just a complete washing of your thoughts, TikTok comment section. It'll completely, like, all of your education, like all of my education, it just comes like screeching to a halt in front of the comment section on TikTok, and it's like, what? What level of dumbassery? There's 90 people in here. How many people is on YouTube? I don't normally pay attention to the numbers. I don't think it's healthy. If you're concerned about the numbers, you typically are probably not doing very good. I think we're being actively suppressed here on TikTok. $38. I was trying to get to it. What did that say? Trump wants to call Denali National Park what? Back to Mount McKinley. Talk about Trump's always wants to get him. Oh my gosh. That's so easy, 100 people. So yeah, spread the word. Big big protest on Monday. You've had days. Easy as it. Yeah. Well, I was posting multiple pieces of unique content to TikTok a day. Um, Baby accessory. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shushed by a toddler. Oh, it's crazy. How could I just? I mean, obviously people are doing it, but it's like, how could you see what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing and it make you happy? What about what they're doing is like good, right? Make sure that you'd be supposed to. Oh, for sure. One of the things about YouTube that I've been like, huh, uh, they um they changed the title to my videos. They literally remove everything after the date from the title of my videos. Isn't that crazy? Like, and it'll be some goofy thing. Like, and I've said shit like Donald Trump committed fucking treason, and they don't care about that, but they'll completely manipulate the title of a video. Fuck, TikTok doesn't even do that. You know what I mean? So I've definitely changed. I try to be less divisive, right? Less of that like weird shit, right? I just want to point out that this is like day 5 or 6 without my preferred coffee of choice. And it's miserable. Oh, for sure. For sure they are. They always have. Just remember when I was on active duty in the Marine Corps, on Marine Corps bases where there was a TV, it was on Fox because it was the only free channel you could get. Everything else cost money. And that's been that way my whole life. Local television, Fox 59, right? Like, but yeah, there's like I said, big protests on Monday. There's a conditional. There's something going on February 28th. Progress Radio on Sirius Radio. No, no, because our show's over now, right? So let's play our Eat the Rich, and then I've got about 45 minutes till I gotta go to work. Musk's new name Onyx. He wants to be addressed by that name. Something Maximus. Yeah, one thing I don't do. So late, isn't it? Again, I just don't know what. Like, yeah, February 28th is National Blackout Day. Yeah, and there was a major protest on the 5th. A major protest on the what? What's Monday? Is it the 19th? So, so there were protests on the 5th, protests on the 17th, and a blackout on the 28th. So it's 3 major organized events in a month. Snow is coming away. Yeah. hmm My normal lifetime. So I try to be live every day, Monday through Friday at 7:45 to 9:15, and then on the weekends I'm still gonna be live still before noon, but I'm slower moving on the weekends. The news is slower moving. So on the weekends, it's like a 9:30, 10:30 start. Plus, I've noticed other people don't wake up early on the weekends, right? So it's hard to get mods in, all that kind of stuff. So supposed to get 8 inches. Mm. Yeah, yeah. I live in Lawrence. Hmm. My name is Jared, and I host a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. And I'm a socialist. So I just want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. I believe in equality for all, and I want everyone to be such a proficient laborer because the government paid for that, that you can start your own business. Hmm. Yep, I think that's what we ought to be doing, kids, is putting proficient laborers into the workforce, into union jobs, and we should push socialists into leadership positions in unions and get them in charge of unions so that they can push socialism from up near Purdue. Go Boilers. Boiler up. I am a Purdue alum. You see this right here? It's like a wood burned flag with a Purdue logo on it. And then, hey, remember, kids, every day our show starts with War from Edwin Starr and ends with Eat the Rich. I think I already did that. Sorry about that. So listen to Eat the Rich after the show ends. Here you go. So remember, there was a big protest on the 5th. There's a big protest on the 17th. There's a blackout on the 28th, on the last day of the month. And then uh, I believe in the power of boycotts, protests, and strikes. And there were a whole bunch of strikes. There's strikes going on all the time for better pay and benefits, and you need to support that, especially when it's not violent. And for the record, it is an act of violence. For the record, when the Amazon workers protesting in Chicago and a guy came out and turned on the hose, it's an act of violence. Just thrown out there. And for the record, violence can be met with violence. 100%. So remember, you cannot bring firearms to a protest. Game was rough last night. Gotta find there's still a few people with some sense here. True. About how many bills? About the poodles and your pills. This is future. Got your way of life. So think I can do more for you with this here fucking night. So try to have a good day. Try not to get yeah. And that remember that was one of the ones I got banned on TikTok for saying fly the American flag. Remember one of the things that, with the Republican Party collapsing in on itself, um, we got to take the American flag back. You got to be consistent. You got to be loyal. So it's like one of the problems that we have in the United States is, for example, two women won Democratic seats in Florida and flipped their party affiliation after they got elected. I think that should be illegal too. And if you find out that someone that you voted for has been inactive because they were scared, you need to talk about it publicly and get them out of there. And the thing about it is that even the Democrats are saying the Republicans are scared. And so think about this. I'm not sitting here saying the Democrats are scared. Okay? I'm saying the Democrats are saying the fucking Republicans are scared. They're not here. They're not showing their face. Throwing that out there because they know what they did and they know what's potentially on the table. And again, I've always said elections have consequences. The pendulum swings the other way. Okay. And I think yesterday two things happened that made Donald Trump less powerful, and I'll tell you what they are. One of them was um, a court ruled that Donald Trump does not have sweeping immunity, and that um, FOIA requests FOIA requests on Donald Trump and the awful shit he's done are valid. And that I think was the first crack in his armor. And then after that, the American Bar Association came out with a statement like, "Hey, when they're telling you they're not going to follow law, that's when they break the law, that's when you punish them." Yeah, they're so from what I hear, they're like hiding. So think about that. People have been like, "Oh, where are the Republicans? Why haven't they said anything?" Well, it turns out speaking out not a good idea. And now you just have the Republicans crumpling. Everybody have a good day. Hey, we got another show where we didn't get banned from TikTok. Look at us making it to halfway through the week.